She's the friend who'll show up with coffee or wine when you need it most. But probably wine. Good vibes are on the way. Welcome to Erin O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency.
Hi, welcome back to Erin O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency. I'm Erin. It is wonderful to have you here. I saw on the Today Show a couple weeks ago that, sadly, there are all of these videos going around social media of fake feel-good stories, fake happy videos. And they even had somebody on that's an AI creator, and this is what he does. And here's the thing. There are so many really awesome actual humans doing actual good things that having to make something up or doing something and putting it online that's, maybe created after a real person, but is not exactly the story. There's enough fake. Honestly, I'm exhausted from all of the fake. And then you see certain videos with animals too then you find out this is not true. There really weren't a bunch of bunnies jumping on a trampoline. It was all AI. I'm here to tell you that you will never see anything fake on here. You are never going to hear anything fake. I am old school, drank out of the hose, came back home when the street lights were on kind of person. So I don't even know how to do the AI fake thing. And even if I did, I wouldn't, because I don't think that is necessary. And I really don't understand it, because I truly want to make people feel good and see the great things in the world as well. But if they're fake, well, that kind of defeats the purpose if I'm trying to show you all of the good that really does exist. So just to clarify that, because honestly, when I saw it, I was a little bummed out. It's kind of discouraging to see that kind of thing and wonder why people don't just go the extra mile and find the real people and the real stories, because it's always more intriguing and, oh, what's that word I'm looking for? Authentic. Yeah. So you found the real place. Thanks for being here. I want to just kind of catch you up on my existence for a moment, because it's been a while since I've told a personal story or given you any of my Erin's antics through the years. But it's a genuine message that I want to get out there. And I think it's super important. Man, March 6th was a rough day for me. I'm not going to lie. It is the day that I was laid off from a job I had had for 24 years, which was nowhere near what I would call a job. I would call it my life, because I was on a great radio station in Boston, and I kind of grew up on that station, really, and shared all of the different things going on in my life at the time. I talked about when I got engaged and married, and of course, when I had our son, and when I went through my cancer journey, things like that. It was very real. It was my life, because I cannot be fake. I don't know how to be fake, in conjunction with the story I just told you about how people are making fake stories that are trying to lift people's spirits or whatever. But that's just not me. I don't know how to be fake. I have a horrible poker face. I've tried to play things in Vegas, and honestly, I'm a dead giveaway. So I don't really do that. But I will say that what I thought was the end of my career happiness, maybe is a good way to explain it, was actually the beginning of something fantastic, like a whole other chapter that I am having the time of my life with. I said to my husband the other day, I don't know that I've ever been this happy in my adult life. I am so happy, and just I feel free. I don't really know how to explain it other than I'm telling you this because if you are in a bad place, or you are so stressed out, or massive change is happening in your world, know that it is within you to make the life that you really want for yourself. You can do that. I promise you. it can seem overwhelming. And at first it's going to be, but just fake it till you make it, because that is exactly what I did. I had zero clue how to do a podcast. I told you that in the very first episode, that it was like only up from there because I was that lost. But the great thing is I'm getting found with every single episode. Every single time I do this, I'm just as excited, and I am having the time of my life, and it's on my terms. That's a pretty cool thing. So just have some faith in yourself and try to look at every unknown as something that could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Even if a company, a spouse, significant other, friend gives up on you, don't you give up on you. That is absolutely the message I want to get to you with that story. I think it's super important that you never give up on you. Because who knows, maybe the next chapter is going to be your best one too. So I'm here with Katie and Peter Gallagher. Hello. How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So first of all, thank you for what you do. COVID made us all realize just how valuable teachers are, because the rest of us, we're no good at that. So thank you. Because I know you're both middle school teachers too, right?
Yes.
Thank you for what you do on a regular basis during the school year. But I wanted to talk to you about something that you've started in the summer that I think is so awesome. You found an old small school bus and renovated it. Tell me about that.
We were just sitting on the couch one day trying to figure out what to do in the summer, because she used to do summer school, but as soon as summer hits, I'm on summer vacation and I don't want to think about school until September. And she would always come home and be talking about school. And I was like, oh, we need to do something else because I'm on vacation right now. We were also trying to think of something that could get our daughter involved. And she was throwing out ideas, and she has many great ideas, but she changes her mind sometimes. So then...
Is this the wife that you're speaking of that's sitting right next to you?
Yes.
I like the way he's talking about like you're not there. She's not in the room. She's just in the third person. Okay, continue on.
Okay. She threw out the idea of an ice cream bus. And before she could change her mind, I was on Facebook finding one and have one that we were going to go look at the next day before she could change her mind. And that's how it started.
Oh my gosh. I love the fact that you were like, wait. We're going to run with this idea before you change your mind. And you actually found a bus that quickly.
Oh, yes.
He did. And I was like, but wait, I have to like contact the insurance person and I have to see like how much does it cost to insure something and like have at least some sort of financial stake, some sort of plan. And he was just like, oh, I found a bus. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll do that stuff as we go.
Guess this is not just an idea anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you went and got all of the things you needed to, I guess, outfit this bus to make it refrigerated.
That was part of the thing too, is I was like, well, I've always wanted a food truck, but that just to me seems too much for just a summer kind of gig. And so like, what would you really need for an ice cream truck? You just need, a freezer and a vehicle or something. So it's more than that now that we've done it. Pete is unable to stand up straight in it, though, I will say. He's very hunched over because it's not quite tall enough for him, but I fit magically inside. So we found a freezer, a company from the Midwest, because we don't have a generator or anything for it. So this is what allows us to be able to drive around town. So you plug it in, we keep it plugged in when we're home, and then you can operate it just unplugged for about 10 hours. So that cost more money than the bus itself. And getting it into the bus was quite hysterical too, because we kept one seat aside from the driver's seat. That's Jordan's seat, and then usually one of us is sitting next to her. But the placement of that seat made it very difficult to get the freezer into place. So I don't know. That was a miracle that day because we had like a centimeter maybe of space to get that thing in there without having to damage the seat too.
Wow.
So that was fun as well, as taking out the seats, making space for everything. My dad helped with that. My dad has a lot of tools, which we don't have. So he was crawling underneath that bus and helping us get the bolts out to get the seats out. So that
God
was
bless
fun.
Dad.
Yep. He was a truck driver, but then he used to drive the vans and the small school buses for our school district when he retired. So he just thinks the whole thing is just really funny. He never really expected, his daughter to have an ice cream bus, I think.
It is the coolest concept. You decorated it beautifully. And you just mentioned Jordan, and Jordan's your daughter. And she really was the catalyst for this idea and the ideas that you've been coming up with that, the hubby's like, oh, the hubby, we'll talk about you since you're right here, like he's not in the room. Peter was like, okay, this is a good idea. We're going to jump on it. But it seems like from what I've read and seen that Jordan has been the catalyst for these ideas. Can you tell me why?
So I think it's always a struggle with any parent with how to entertain their kids in the summertime. I think with her, it's even more of a challenge because it just requires a lot. But part of the thing that can be missing sometimes is just like getting out and about in the community and just changing her scenery. And those are things that she likes that don't cause her too much stress. She likes to be in the bus when we're driving around, not so much when we're at the parties and things because we're stationary. But we bought a fan and we keep the fan blowing, and she's got like the Beyonce hair going on, and she does like that a little bit better. But driving around is definitely her favorite part of it, just to kind of get her, even if she doesn't engage with the customers so much, she's seeing them and just getting a different experience from her day. So prior to having the bus, it was always like, well, what's our one outing for the day, which is usually Target.
Yeah.
That's a problem for me. I'm like, I'm going to get one thing at Target. Yeah, no, you're not. So how many kids do you have altogether?
3.
You have 3 kids. Jordan's special needs, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And so you wanted to find something that would include all of your kiddos and also Jordan, so she wouldn't get bored, but also would be kind of exposed to people, but as much as she felt comfortable with, which I think was that's such a cool idea and concept and a way to get her involved in what you're doing. And so I love how you put the bus together to accommodate her and make sure that she was super comfortable.
And it is great. The people that do know her, when we stop, when we're driving around, they'll say, "Hi, Jordan." And she'll look up and give just a wave and then go back to watching her iPad. But so she's interacting a little bit.
That's so cool. And you're really thinking far ahead as well. Because one of the things that I read was you were thinking about, her future and what kind of jobs she may be interested in or able to complete. And so doing something like this and showing her just different kinds of people, that's got to be a good feeling for all of you that she's been so receptive to this.
Yes, and that people have been so receptive to her as well. Like there are times, like you can hear her now with the noises that she makes, and sometimes it's a very loud screech, which is startling even to us who know to expect it a couple of times a day. And, I'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And they're just like, "Oh, no, you're good." And then they kind of reach in and wave. So I think just that it goes both ways. I think her being around more kids, too, it just increases the awareness that, I don't know, people are different.
And I think that's a super important thing for all kids to know from a really young age. I have a special needs kiddo that I was telling you about myself. And so I feel like it's kind of different when you're a special needs parent. At least I can speak for myself and my husband that we're automatically like kind of on guard, and you want to make sure that everybody's accepting of each other. And you obviously can't control what anybody else is going to do or say, but I know that feeling of like kind of that tense, okay, how's this interaction going to go? And the more that my son is out and around people, the more comfortable not only he is, but other people are too, and other kiddos are like, "Oh, hey, come play with us," or I feel like there's such a different kind of acceptance now than there was maybe even 10, 20 years ago. And I love that because it's a matter of showing kids and everybody that we're all different. Everybody's different, and we can all live in the same space and be happy and okay with it. And I love that. And I love that you found a way to incorporate this whole community with what you're doing. It's powerful.
We both grew up here. You went away to college for a little bit. I moved away for a little bit, but like we came back, and both sides of our family are here. it just, so many people that we went to school with have left and come back, because you just know it's a good community when, you know, people that grew up here want to raise their own family here. So
Yeah.
I think that has helped too with just the support that we've got, is because there's so many people that new and old, you know, that we can connect with here. So I think that's what's made it really special too.
So tell me about just how the experience with this ice cream school bus has been. I know you've gotten press about it, and the neighbors are always, oh, when's the school bus ice cream truck coming? It's just such a different kind of ice cream truck to look out for, and it's so fun. So what's it been like? What's been the best memory so far?
Our first big real event was the tractor pull, and that was before we even started driving around. And we kind of got there and we both kind of looked at each other and like, what are we getting ourselves into? And we were able to make it through that day with no issues at all. And we said, we got through that. We can get through mostly anything. So we were like, okay, that's kind of good way to start. So that was fun, that first day.
Yes. Yeah. People took business cards. That made you feel good that like we got a couple of bookings from that event, but that was super scary. It was like, our freezer says it's going to hold it for 10 hours. Is it really going to hold it for 10 hours? Like, what if we run out of something? And that's something that we're kind of like obsessed with, not running out of things, but you can't even plan. Like, you can't, our freezer holds probably 700 pieces of ice cream, but you could show up to a graduation party or what, and you think that people are going to get, you know, all cookie sandwiches, and, you know, the 20 somethings are getting the Ninja Turtles and the SpongeBob, and they're cleaning. Like, you just can't ever plan. So we try to always bring as much as we possibly can on the bus, just so we don't run out of things. But we've changed our kind of business model a few times. We went from just driving around, and then we started doing requests. So you could email us or message us on Facebook or whatever, and we would come out and do a stop. So that was good. But what made it even better is now we have a tracker to it. So you can see, just like the same way you might track your DoorDash or something, like when we're coming. So now you also don't have to stand outside, you know, in the heat and wait for us to get there. You can see when we're about to show up. So I think all of that has definitely made it more accessible and definitely better for us than the day that we drove around for 3 hours and had $7.
Her favorite part of the whole thing is when we're driving around and the kids come running out all happy and smiling and are happy to see us.
Oh, yeah. Who isn't happy to see the ice cream people? And in a school bus, too? A school bus that isn't coming to pick them up and take them to school, but giving them ice cream? Like, come on. This is the best.
Yeah. It just like, it recharges your battery because they're so excited and their energy, and you're like, oh, this is good. You know, it makes us happy too. Makes Jordan happy.
I'll tell you what, wow, have things changed. And I know that when you get older, you always say this kind of thing, but we would have to run after the ice cream truck and scream, even though we were quite sure that he saw us. Like, we're killing ourselves to catch up. Like, please, I want an ice cream cone. You guys are like, oh, you can stay in the comfort of your home and track us. Talk about
right.
a whole different universe now.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So what was, I mean, I know we talked a little bit about Jordan, but what was the main kind of idea that made this something you really were pursuing, aside from the fact that truck was available on Facebook?
No, at some point, just to have a job for Jordan to do. We want her to eventually be able to serve the ice cream, then greet the people. And we're hoping that we started now, as we go on for a couple of years, she'll eventually see what we're doing and then want to help out as well.
I love that. That's super inspirational. Look at you, Katie, with the big smirk on your face. What? Go ahead. You look like you're about to say something. Did something come back?
Oh, no. It's as soon as it comes in, it goes out really quickly.
Yeah, I know the feeling. That's why I was like, if I don't say it when it's there, forget it.
Yeah.
Do your other kids love it too? Are they having fun? Are they sneaking some ice cream off the top of the pile?
Probably.
Yeah. So Connor is our oldest, and he is going to be a senior this year. He's been working a lot. He's got a job where he's been working in the kitchen a lot. So he hasn't helped so much on the bus. The most you can really fit is the three of us on it. But so he hasn't had the opportunity just yet, although I'm sure he will. And then Caden will help us out sometimes with the birthday parties and things. Like if we have a couple of things that day, or it's just not going to be good for Jordan, it's really hot. Pete will usually take Jordan, and then I'll bring Caden with me. So he's done a couple of our parties too. So yeah, I think it will be more and more as time goes on.
You're saying as time goes on, so you're planning on continuing this every summer. Will you stop it at a specific? I mean, I would assume you'll stop it once your full-time jobs kick up again, or do you have an end date and a start date for next year?
Our end date keeps shifting back. We did Sip and Stroll, and it was so great. And they have one September 13th, and I was like, September 13th? I'm like, that's not. We were planning on wrapping up like early September. I'm like, maybe that'll be our last hurrah, and we'll be done. And then, so we're talking about brainstorming ways about how we're going to empty the bus, because we want to make sure we get rid of all ice cream. And then another opportunity, just had asked if we wanted to participate in their festival that's in October. And I was like, well, October's not too far off from September. So as long as I don't keep that thinking forever, I think we'll wrap up probably early October.
I was going to say, you keep this going, you're going to be at ski resorts for a day.
We'll have to switch to hot cocoa or something.
Right. How fun. So this is going to be a great thing. Do you think that next year you'll open around Memorial Day, or you'll just wait to see how the weather is? Or, I mean, do you have solid plans as to how you'll handle it year after year, or just kind of waiting and seeing?
We'll probably have a date set, probably Memorial Day, but if the weather starts getting nicer earlier, we'll open sooner, because it's not that difficult to say, all right, let's get started today.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you'd have the ice cream hanging out at your house. Like, I assume you have to order all this stuff or go get it somewhere local.
And we get it from New England Ice Cream in Norton.
Okay.
And the good part is we just have to order the day before, and then we can get it the next day.
Oh, perfect. So we can expect you to open if it starts getting a little hot around here. Hey, guess who's open tomorrow? I love that. This is such a cool, out-of-the-box, different way of not just raising money, but also awareness, and it's fun. And I know everybody gets excited to see with the ice cream, because it's the ice cream school bus. That makes it even different, and it stands out. I'm excited to find you, because I'm going to come to one of these things and get some ice cream, because who doesn't want to do that? I wish you continued massive success. I think the way that you're doing it, it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and I can't wait to see how big it's going to get. And I wish you all of the best. Can you tell me, like, how people can find you?
We do have a website, which is just www.schoolsouticecream.com. Easy for me to say. We're also pretty present on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, which started from TikTok. And then when we would make those types of things, my mom would be like, I can't see those. I'm not on TikTok. So she joined TikTok just to be part of it. But then we found another way that we could get them all, the reels and things, posted on Facebook and Instagram too. So that helps the people that don't necessarily want to be on TikTok. But
don't let her fool you. She's hardly on TikTok. She'll find the videos and say, you're doing this today, and I'm going to film you. And I would go, okay.
He's so good. Usually we can do it in like one take too.
That's impressive.
I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to take forever. But yeah, I'm just like, you're going to do this. He's like, okay. And then we do it. And so that's been fun too.
And is that Schools Out Ice Cream? That just at Schools Out Ice Cream? Okay, guys.
Yes.
On the socials.
Yep.
Excellent. I love
so
that.
all those are, Schools Out Ice Cream for Facebook and Instagram and all that. So you can find us that way.
I think that covers it. I mean, you even have your own website, which is very impressive. You're taking this seriously. You're stuck with that school bus, girl. I'm just here to tell you, this is like, if you thought of bailing out, you're not bailing anytime soon. So last question is, when you're hungry or it's a little too hot, you've got your own inventory you can dive into.
We've done that 2 or 3 times that we just went, oh, we have so much ice cream in the garage. I could really eat one right now. And we go out and get one.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to explain this incredible school bus. And you've, without a doubt, made it the greatest school bus ever. So thank you. Thank you for that. And I wish you guys the best success. And I think it's really excellent what you're doing, and incorporating your daughter in the community. And I love it. I wish you all the best in the future. And thank you so much for doing it and making it a lot better tasting around here. And they say teachers only work 9 months a year. Not these ones. No. They're working all summer. Of course, driving a school bus ice cream truck's about the coolest job I can think of. So they're having fun with it. And most importantly, their daughter Jordan is. And I love how they have found a way to include their special needs girl and maybe even give her an opportunity to have a job in the future. I think that is really spectacular. Thank you so much for joining me. If you know somebody that would be great for the podcast, or maybe you are the person making the world a better place, I'd love to know all about you. ErinO'Malley'sFrequency.com is the place to go. ErinO'Malley'sFrequency.com. Thank you so much. I'll chat with you next week. Bye.